Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video we're going to be taking a look at Nosana. It has been pumping over the past 24 hours. We're going to quickly break down the charts. Hopefully you guys are doing well. I'm not a financial advisor. Make sure to always do your own research before investing money into crypto. Now, taking a look at the Nosana CoinMarketCap page, its ticker is NOS, and this is a Solana AI coin. We've been covering this on our Patreon for a long time now, and we just saw an increase of, I think, around a 2x. So if we zoom in on the daily, so just at 2 a.m. EST, September 14th, we were sitting at 60 cents, and then a few hours later, we were sitting at $1.20. So a massive pump there, and you know, congratulations to everyone buying into Solana at these lower prices. Or not Solana, Nosana. I do own Nosana, so I am an investor. Full disclosure. And this isn't listed on a lot of the biggest centralized exchanges. So we do have Crypto.com, we do have Kraken, and we do have Gate, but Gate isn't really considered a huge exchange. So no Binance, no Bybit, no Coinbase. Hopefully those are going to come, and this is essentially a GPU hardware project. They're providing GPU to everyone, and if you go to their Twitter, they're doing lots of marketing, they're doing lots of events, lots of exposure from Singapore to Warsaw. They were just in Warsaw here a few days ago on September 8th. So definitely make sure to look into the project. The market cap is still within the low cap region, sitting at $45 million. So definitely check it out. And let's jump into the price action chart here. So this is the weekly, okay? And as you can see, this Fibonacci retracement played out to a T, and I'll explain why. We have the local top there. Let me change the color of the drawings to yellow so it's more visible to you. So we have this bottom here from August 2024, and we have this local top from November 2024. So what I did is I took the Fibonacci retracement, I dragged it from the local top in November all the way down to the local bottom in August, and we got ourselves the 1.618 target here. Okay, so arguably from the bottom there in September, or this September, right, just the beginning of the month, Nosana has already done a 234%. So that's more than a 3x. Okay, we went up to $1.30 or so. So this was a really, really good pump, and if it continues, great. We saw Nosana pumping previously like crazy, and mind you, this is still a $46 million project. A 10x from here would put us at $460 million, which is not even going to be $500 million, and the price would be sitting closer to $10, okay? That's how early we are to these AI projects, and I think AI projects on Solana are particularly going to be doing very well. We are above the 20 EMA on the weekly, so I would suggest, or I would like to see the price hold the 20 EMA because we want to keep it as our support, like we did here briefly in April last year. We were bouncing off of it, and then, you know, here in November, December 2024. When you're below the 20 EMA, it is a good buying opportunity. We also caught this massive bullish divergence here. So as you can see, the arrow on the price action chart is pointing downwards, which means we're printing lower lows. But on the RSI, you can see the exact opposite. You're printing higher lows. And when you see a divergence like that, that's an indicator that you are probably going to be getting some sort of a reversal. The bigger the divergence, the bigger the move. And as you can see, we saw, you know, more than a 3x here in just a day, which is pretty insane. And the fib played out perfectly because the 1.618, as you know, is our technical target, whether it's to the upside or to the downside. So this was your optimal entry point, your perfect entry at around 38.5 cents. And yeah, so congratulations to everyone who entered. You can also, on top of all of the previously mentioned things, you can add a falling wedge pattern here. Okay, and the wedge pattern essentially is complete because your target is where the wedge was created, and the wedge was created right here. Okay, so the first touch that creates the wedge. So this is the touch of the support. The second touch creates the wedge. Okay, so that's your target, and we even went slightly higher than that. So this is a really good setup for Nosana. I like what the chart is doing. Hopefully we don't go ultra crazy very quickly, because that is not going to be a good thing. If we have a centralized exchange listing, we might have even a bigger bounce to the upside. So maybe set up a few sell limit orders. If you are expecting a further push to the upside and you think, you know, $3-4 maybe is possible within the next few months, you could get a listing announcement out of nowhere on Twitter, and then the price is going to go parabolic. So that you don't miss out on that, you can set up buy limit orders, or sell limit orders in this case, in advance, and that way you can sleep peacefully and you won't have to worry about missing out on those juicy prices. So the RSI is still in the middle part of the purple area, which is good. Once you start seeing something like this, that's when you know you're getting overbought and overheated. So the next time we're out, you know, above 90 on the RSI, that's your sell indicator. Doesn't mean we cannot continue pumping after we're up here. However, you have to be careful, because you never know when the crash is going to come. So you want to gradually start selling when you start getting overbought on the weekly. And I do think Q4 is going to be fruitful for altcoins here in 2025. And it's possible even Q1 and Q2 is going to be good for altcoins because of the lowering of the interest rates in the United States. So this is, like I said, really good setup for Nosana. We just want to continue holding our 20 EMA on the weekly. Now we can set up a Fibonacci retracement from the bottom here, from the local bottom in September to the top in March 2024. That is essentially the all-time high. We have our golden ratio sitting at $2.18. So that is going to be a massive resistance level for us to break through. You also have the 0.5 at $1.57. So this range here is the golden pocket, and that is going to be a very important area for us to break through. We might have some resistance on our first few touches of that zone. We might get rejected the first few times, but then once we break out, I think it's going to be a clear pathway towards the previous all-time high, which is around $7 to $8, okay? That's my thesis. Again, the market cap is very low. It's not going to take a lot of money to push the price of this thing higher. We just need to get a few centralized exchange listings. We need to get the AI narrative back in the spotlight, and I think things are going to happen for your AI bags. So if you are entering, or you were entering down here below 50 cents, you may want to think about taking some profits in this golden pocket. And then of course you have your $6.36, which is the candle closure in March 2024. Then you have your minimal target after that at $13.60. Then you have $20.23, and you have $36 as your 1.618. So the market cap of Nosana at $36 would be $3 billion, which is not a crazy valuation by the end of the cycle, by the end of the alt season. It's not crazy to assume this at all. That's a 37x move from here. Of course, this does not mean you have to be holding your entire bag until you get to $36. Okay, you want to be gradually taking profits. If you want to exit at $5 to $10 in that range, that's totally fine. You don't have to go overboard with it and get married to your coins. So make sure you are completely out of all of your altcoins by the time you think the cycle is over. That's extremely important. Maybe you want to keep some ETH. That's fine. That's up to you. Everything else is going to have a 90 to 99% crash in terms of its value against the US dollar. So you want to pick those up during the bear market once again. Stay safe, everyone. Let me know what are your thoughts on Nosana. Have a great day.